In this video, I'm going to share the 3 magic phrases I use to build momentum in my business. They're based on the fact that we get what we focus on. So if we can just put ourselves into a state where our goals feel inevitable, then we will feel naturally excited and just propelled forward into the right action. So first, I'm going to share what these 3 phrases are. Then I'll share 2 different approaches that you can use to write these phrases for yourself. And then I'll walk you through the specific technique I use, which I think is the most powerful way to apply them. By the way, I'm Kyle Greenfield, and I run thejoywithin.org, where we help business owners like you manage the mental load of running a business, so you can reduce stress, gain clarity, and get more fulfillment out of your work. So if you like this video and want to go deeper, I have a free 5-step guide that walks you through the process we use to keep you at the top of your game. You can find it at thejoywithin.org/5steps, and I'll paste a link below as well. So that said, let's dive into the 3 magic phrases. They are, thank you for helping me, thank you for expanding me, and thank you for inspiring me. We're going to fill in these blanks in a minute, but the idea is that we can stack these 3 phrases together and use them to create a strong sense of inspiring, uplifting energy within us, and we can apply them to build momentum towards any goal that we set for ourselves. They are perfect for those times when you feel stuck, or those mornings when you wake up and you think, I just don't have it in me today. So if you can recognize that and take 2 to 3 minutes to apply these phrases, you can shift your mood really quickly. I want to give you 2 different approaches for these phrases. The first is a more general approach. This is for days when you're feeling uninspired, or even when you're ready to quit, or just want to stay in bed and watch Netflix all day. We all have days like that sometimes, and that's okay, because what matters is that we have the ability to pop out of those moods when we hit. So when you're in one of those down states, you might want to use the 3 phrases like this. Thank you for helping me to take the time I need to reset. Thank you for expanding my ability to feel at ease. Thank you for inspiring me to shift into a better feeling state. Notice how general these are. Notice how I didn't say anything about your business or about any specific goals that you might have. Because when we're feeling down, reciting positive affirmations can actually demotivate us and make us feel farther away from where we want to be. These phrases work because they aren't positive affirmations. They're statements of praise and gratitude, which are more effective at flipping you into the state that you describe in the sentence. So when you're feeling really down, your first step is to steady the mind. That's why I wrote phrases about resetting, feeling more at ease, and shifting into a better feeling state. Because it's not about taking action here. It's about allowing your mind to come back to a more neutral state. So you can just let the words flow over you. Thank you for helping me to take the time I need to reset. Thank you for expanding my ability to feel at ease. Thank you for inspiring me to shift into a better feeling state. By the way, if you're wondering who we're thanking here, it really doesn't matter. Personally, I like to think of it as thanking a higher version of myself, a version of me who has already been pulled into that more inspired state. But you can also think of it as a little prayer to God or the universe or whatever resonates with you. The point is that you feel into that sensation of gratitude and praise. The second approach works best when you are already in a fairly neutral state. So these are the days when you don't feel excited and raring to go, but you're also not really in a bad mood either. Maybe you're just a bit meh, and that's okay, it happens to everyone. In that case, you can use these phrases in connection with specific goals that you already have. And those can be long-term goals, or they could be things that you want to accomplish today or this week. The key is that you have to have a fundamental, empowering belief about your goal in order for this to work, because the phrases will activate the belief that you already hold. So if you know that you have a fundamental belief that you can achieve your goal, it's just that today you're feeling a bit out of it, then that's the perfect time to use this more specific approach. But if you're doubting in yourself or your business, or if you're not sure what direction you want to take, that's when you would use the more general approach. So here's how I would use this with my work, and obviously you would tailor this to match your business. I would say something like, thank you for helping me to find the right words for this video. Thank you for expanding my ability to help other entrepreneurs reduce stress and cultivate more joy in their businesses. And thank you for inspiring me to help my clients feel calmer, more confident, and more fulfilled each day. These phrases work for me because I already do these actions every day. I already help business owners reduce stress and find clarity. And I already produce content that I share openly. By choosing phrases that reinforce these actions, I am grounding them in beliefs that I already hold. I already know that I can do this, and the role of these phrases is to activate that feeling within me, to help me feel more inspired and more grateful for that. Do you see how this works? It simultaneously activates the energy of my goals, which is to serve more widely, and reinforces the good that I am already doing. So as you get more specific about phrases to use for your business, it helps to focus on which you are already serving your clients or your customers. Focus on the goals that reinforce good that you are already doing in your community. Honestly, I think that's the best approach to take. But if you're unsure, you could also land somewhere in the middle with more general statements that are still about your business growth. Something like, thank you for helping me to figure out the plan for next month. Thank you for expanding my awareness of the right next steps to take. Thank you for inspiring me to reach the clients who most need my help. There's not a single right or wrong answer here. The right phrases are the ones that resonate with you. You want to be able to feel into them, to feel that sense of praise and gratitude when you speak them. So if you're unsure about that, or you don't know what I mean when I talk about feeling into a phrase, then I want you to head over to thejoywithin.org and book a call with me this week. I will help walk you through them and make sure that you are on the right track. Lastly, once you have your 3 magic phrases, I want to walk you through the technique that I use to center into them. I call this an echo affirmation technique. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and I find it to be incredibly relaxing and uplifting. So all we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 phrases and cycle through them a few times, repeating them at different levels of intensity. So to begin, speak them to yourself aloud in a normal speaking voice. Thank you for helping me to take the time I need to reset. Thank you for expanding my ability to feel at ease. Thank you for inspiring me to shift into a better feeling state. Then we're going to repeat them again, but more softly this time. The idea is that we gradually walk them in order to internalize them. So as we go through this time, you might want to whisper them aloud or just mutter them under your breath. Thank you for helping me to take the time I need to reset. Thank you for expanding my ability to feel at ease. Thank you for inspiring me to shift into a better feeling state. Lastly, repeat them silently to yourself. And for me, as I think each one, I really like to take my time with it and use my breath. I like to give each phrase a full cycle of breath. So as I inhale, I think through the first phrase, and then I rest into that idea on my exhale. Then I inhale and think the next, and so on. Take your time and try to be calm, deliberate, and feel into each one. Then, if you want to go deeper, you can repeat the entire process 2 or 3 times. If you want to create a calming, relaxing energy, then slow down your pace as you go through each phrase. Or if you want to create a more active and excited feeling, then you can gradually speed up as you go through the process. It's up to you, but the aim is to be able to guide yourself into whatever state you prefer to be in. So repeat it a few times as you feel is appropriate for you. Then, when you're ready, you just release them, get up, and go about your day. Thank you so much for your time here today. I really hope you've enjoyed this technique. As I said, I find it is a really powerful way to shift my mood very, very quickly. And I think its beauty is in its simplicity and its flexibility. So as you go through this technique, I encourage you to play with it. Experiment with using different ideas or variations of the phrases or different ways of moving through them, trying to reinforce and activate whatever energetic state that you choose. If you want to go deeper, I encourage you to head over to thejoywithin.org/5 steps to check out my free guide that walks you through the simple 5-step process I use to help reduce stress, gain clarity, and stay inspired by my business. And just so you know, I do take on a handful of one-on-one coaching clients as well. So if you're interested in that, head over to thejoywithin.org and find the link to schedule a time with me this week. Know that I love you and I appreciate you wherever you are. And if you've enjoyed this practice, please leave a comment below. Let me know how these phrases make you feel. And that's a good indicator for me to keep sharing more strategies like this. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon.